The Luminescent Path by Elle Wyse. The last spring, Edward stared despondently at the thick cream envelope bearing the royal seal. He had been dreading this day for months, but nothing could have prepared him for the finality of that simple letterhead. Call to military service. At only 22 years old, Edward's life of privilege was about to come to a crashing halt. Just weeks away from completing his literature studies at Cambridge, Edward had hoped to carry on with his academic pursuits or perhaps travel through the continent on a grand tour. But those naive dreams now seemed laughably quaint. The great war raging across Europe had finally caught up with him. As the son of a wealthy industrialist family, Edward might have been able to avoid conscription through his father's connections. But a sense of duty ingrained since birth compelled him to answer the call. He would join His Majesty's forces as a commissioned officer, as was expected of a man of his standing. The summer days drifted by far too quickly. One moment Edward was wandering the streets of Cambridge, stopping at his favorite pubs and chatting philosophy over pints with his university chums. The next he was aboard a ship crossing the English Channel toward the bloody charnel house of the Western Front. Edward's training as an officer proved woefully inadequate preparation for leading men into the hellscape that was the Battle of the Somme. Thick clouds of mustard gas seared his lungs. Heavy artillery shook the ground apocalyptically. The incessant thunder of machine gun fire cut down scores of his troops with each charge into the wasteland of no man's land. He soon aged decades in just a few months, his youthful optimism eroded by scenes of unprecedented horror and carnage that would haunt him until his dying day. The ones who suffered most terribly were the simple infantry boys who looked to Edward for leadership and protection he couldn't provide.